So, hello and welcome, holistic hair professionals, to our webinar launch for the new Organic Way Hmelt and Mask Coloring and Brightening System. I'm Rebecca Gregory, the Education and Technical Director for Simply Organic Beauty, and I just wanted to cover some of our objectives today. I also welcome Ashley Mooney, our Marketing Director, to our webinar today because we're going to share some of the story and some of the pieces and parts and have a great conversation with you guys today. So remember, if you stay on through the entirety of the live presentation, there's going to be a little giveaway at the end. So if you stay with us throughout this exciting webinar, you're going to love what we have for you. So we're very excited to share the newest launch of the Hmelt Color and Brightening Pigments, and as well as the Hmelt Masks. You asked, and well, Oway once again answered your color needs in the most unique way known to our professional marketplace. So this training is going to be basically sharing with both stylists and owners on all of the color series from Hmelt. We're going to talk in depth about some of the technical tips and the uses, as well as going through all of the product knowledge for you so you have a clear understanding of how this all works for you and your business, and building that wellness with offerings of retail and, of course, adding services to your client base. So we're going to basically run through each technical use of all the pigments. We're going to talk about the ingredients as usual so that we can increase your knowledge of what you're using, why you're using it, and why this is a much more professional, healthier opportunity for you as holistic hairdressers.
So let's break into the foundational knowledge we need to understand why Hmelt is such a unique product. For those of you that are new to Oway and new to our training today, you're going to be learning a lot of information here about biodynamic farming. For those of you that have been in the holistic hair tribe for many, many years, we've got some great new information to share with you. So this is going to be very, very exciting. So from farm to chair, what you see pictured here is our biodynamic organic farms in Bologna, Italy, also known as Ortofficina. And to understand why our plant-based salon products are unique and effective, we really have to get down to the roots, quite literally. So learning this process is going to make you not only a better stylist, but also a better communicator to your clients, to learn about all the lovely benefits and why your products are not just healthy and non-toxic, but actually more effective.
The story here is really authentic. I mean, Ashley and I have both been able to visit the farm and the life there, and there's a lot of understanding that goes along with this. And your clients, as they're finding you as holistic, green-minded, conscious hairdressers, are really wanting to be shared in this story with you. So our story is your story is your client's story.
Absolutely. And if you're unfamiliar with the term biodynamic, it's actually a step above organic. So not only do they not use pesticides or synthetic fertilizers, but there's an entire holistic approach going on here. The whole farm itself is self-sustaining, and it yields the strongest, most active botanicals. So let's kind of get into why the soil and the plants grown here are just that much better for our products.
So within that, we did say that the farming is more of a holistic viewpoint to farming. So these practices are carried out more according to like a calendar dictated by the moon phases, the position of the stars, and they're really taking it organic to an entirely new level. And I also always bring up the authenticity from this. So these procedures are far more complex, and they have even stricter control and certification standards that must be met as well. So by choosing biodynamic products, you're getting a much healthier, genuine, and more dynamic type of product. So here you see our little cute spritz and fullamine, and they are on the farm to help with the fertilization, as well as some earthworm insects and all of the preparations to keep the soil in the most powerful part possible so that you have a pure ingredient base.
Absolutely. Talking about that holistic harmony, together on this farm, man, earth, and animals all work together to create this self-sustaining organism that gives us the beautifully effective plants that we have, all without petrochemicals, heavy polluting farming machinery, and pesticides. So let's get into exactly how all of that works to create professional products that are pure and honestly perform better than conventional and traditional salon products. I say that with confidence because
Yes.
I've used these for years now.
And they're super effective too. So the finished product here, with working with these higher end, non-toxic performing products, obviously they have to perform as stylists. We're looking for something that's going to work for us and our clients. But the actual, they're jam packed really with minerals and vitamins and proteins as well as antioxidants. So we'll break into that a little bit here shortly.
Absolutely. So when you don't use fertilizers and synthetic fertilizers, I should say, and pesticides, the plants are actually shown to become stronger and more effective of defending themselves on their own. So because they're basically growing their natural defenses, all of those antioxidants and polyphenols are just teeming throughout the whole plant at highly concentrated levels. So that's really why the plants that we're using in our products are extremely effective and maybe more effective than other more natural organic quote unquote products that you've used before. So again, that's how we're taking this to the professional level. And I really haven't even seen many consumer products that have gone the distance, so to say, and have adopted the biodynamic approach. So we're going to move a little further into how all this really relates to Hmelt, because it's the farm is great, but then there's also an advanced chemistry, green chemistry principles actually that take these plants and transform them into the amazing Hmelt products and other Oway products that you know and love. So we are going to break into the secondary process now. So from biodynamic botanicals to Hmelt products.
Well, and if you think about it, going back into that holistic harmony too, I mean, it's the foundation. So, for example, just as your hair is only as good as the scalp condition that you're working with, it's true also of the harvest being only as good as the soil that it's being born in. So, here we're talking about hand picking and harvesting these biodynamic organic plants and what that means to keep them at their effectiveness and keeping it natural and safe for you as well.
Absolutely. So all these plants, although teeming with all of their natural and protective benefits, are picked during their balsamic period, which is when all of those substances and benefits are at their highest concentration. And then after that, they're transferred, which only a few miles away, to Oway's green chemistry labs, where they go through a bit of alchemy and transformed into the beautiful products that you know and love. So, quite honestly, when we say farm to chair, you really couldn't get much fresher when it comes to these ingredients. It comes from the farms in Italy to the green chemistry labs a few miles away, and then it makes its way to your salon through us at Simply Organic Beauty. So, farm to chair couldn't be a more accurate way to describe these beautiful products. And I've met the green chemistry team, and so is Rebecca at Oway. And these people are just brilliant scientists. I think they have 6 PhD or 7 PhD level chemists on their team, and they're so open to answering all of our questions about ingredients and the why. So it's so very important to work with a partner that is so transparent and intelligent and just on the cutting edge of everything healthy and organic. So here's our finished product, and I'll let Rebecca talk a little bit about why this packaging is so unique.
So we always talk about using infinitely recyclable packaging, going from the amber glass bottling, which helps us to preserve the formulations that are inside these precious products, and also the contamination factor. So we don't have the leaching of, let's say, the plastics and so forth into these highly designed, gorgeous products. And then, of course, we have the aluminum tubes, which are also infinitely recyclable and natural for the integrity of the products that we're working with. So, we're talking about trying to do everything with the best integrity possible when we're working with finer elements and products.
Absolutely. And then now that you see the finished product, let's break inside. Let's see the beautiful botanicals that are powering these lovely Hmelt phytoactives, because this is where it gets super unique.
I think I also love the image on that last slide because it shows the two products that we're going to be talking about together. So it's a synthesis. It's something that we can offer our clients in our salons as well as take home. So this is a really great image for you to, even if you did something like this in your retailing on your shelves, so that they could see that these two are more of a combination.
Absolutely. And if you can add a botanical in that in that little retail display, good on you.
Beautiful.
So let's break into what are these botanicals and why are they so different and how do they take Hmelt and Oway to the next level?
So first off, we're not working with henna. First off, I want to say that we're talking about plant-based pigments in a second, but we're not talking about henna. We're basically using intensive color reflections and combinations of colorants. And here I'm showing you the organic mullein. And this one is known for helping with shine, UV protection. It's an anti-inflammatory ingredient. And it's a natural botanical that's really offering you protection of your color. And you will find this in all of the Oway Hmelt Pure Pigments as well as the masks. So moving into the second key ingredient here, we've got Biodynamic Curly Dock. So this one is highly antioxidative. And why is that important to us as stylists? Well, antioxidants are so effective and necessary in hair products. Hair is it's composed of living cells, but it's keratin-based structures. So they're susceptible to oxidative damage from such a wide variety of sources. So the damage that we're talking about leads to typically like split ends or broken hair, more of that rough cuticle and that texture, that frizz that can also cause tangling, let's say, and really lack of luster. So if you're dealing with your curly haired clients, we're talking about diminished curl retention and really loss of color. So now that we're talking about a color, an Hmelt color reflect, we're talking about the need for having these highly antioxidative ingredients in there. So this one is also found in all of the Oway Hmelt Pure Pigments and the masks. So we all, no matter what season we're in, have exposure to the ultraviolet radiation and oxidative damage. So it's penetrating your hair shaft, it's depleting the natural melanin found in your hair, and also it can alter that protein structure, which color likes to lock onto in both the cuticle and the cortex. So when you're talking about chemical processes, particularly, say, bleaching and permanent dyeing, these are all culprits of that depletion of the natural melanin. So we need to create some sort of successful way of adding in antioxidative ingredients to the formula so that we can protect the hair additionally. So from any of the pollutants, smoke and even water. So fortunately, Oway has thought of this. They've added this in to help with the restorative benefits and so forth. And once we're working with these plant essences, this is a perfect opportunity to add the biodynamic curly dock into the formulation. So now we're going to break into the fair trade phyto-pigments. So we've always said, oh, you can't use berries and nuts and all of these things to color hair. Well, these specialists at Oway have developed a way of using fair trade phytopigments that are natural color intensifying plant pigments in helping with the combination of colorants so that we can use this to intensify all of your color reflex. So starting with turmeric, this is fantastic for all types of benefits for the hair and the scalp. The orange yellow color of turmeric is a perfect natural colorant for the hair. And it brings like a sharp tint to, let's say, blondes or brown hairs. And it's got that bright yellow tint that can be added. So in addition with the hair mask with turmeric, that's going to help add shine to the hair as well. Turmeric is also known for antifungal, anti-inflammatory. It helps with allergies. It is also antioxidative, antiseptic, and antibacterial. So it helps to treat all types of scalp conditions as well. So when we look at Oway as a whole, all of the products that they offer to us as stylists and Holistic Hair Tribe members, they think of everything. So they're not just packing these formulas in with inexpensive organic elements that really do nothing for the hair. They look at the true benefits. I'm going to jump into saffron next. Because saffron is an amazing ingredient that helps when we're talking about hair loss. So using this, it's also loaded with abundant quantities of antioxidants. It's going to help with repairing any hair follicles and also promoting hair growth. I have a lot of clients that I'm using Hcolor on that are saying, and as well as Hnectar, that say that their hair is fuller, brighter, and they actually feel like they're growing more hair. So this is an additional part to the Hmelt factor because it's once again promoting hair growth. So it's also found to be one of the best treatments for alopecia too. So moving into Ratani Broom, that is an ingredient that is naturally derived root extracts, and that's going to help to provide conditioning properties to dry, parched hair. So that's helping with additional shine, because when something is not, it has enough moisture in it, naturally, it's going to help with all types of ways to keep that brightness to the hair, as well as helping with the scalp. Um, Basically, we're jumping next into the walnut ingredient here in the phyto-pigments, and this helps with strengthening hair. It's a great source of omegas and fatty acids, which are helping to seal the cuticle and the cortex back together again, increasing that ability to make that glossy hair shine and be so reflective. So these are all amazing elements to help leave hair longer, stronger, healthier, and ability to really glow. This ingredient, walnut, as it's also fantastic for eliminating dandruff. It adds shine to highlights, and it's great for its antifungal properties. So it's a very viable solution for scalp health. And anybody that has an irritant on their scalp, this is also a perfect remedy for that. So we fight hair loss with the walnut ingredient because the potassium in that helps to regenerate cells, and it helps to accelerate that hair growth. So not only are these found in the ingredients for the phytopigments, but they have so many other amazing benefits to them, being so biodynamic, organic, and of fair trade. I think the last one would be the lycopene. I think that's a favorite because it, as well as having the antioxidative factors to it, it's high in the anti-aging properties. So it's primarily found in like tomatoes, and it's known for being a rich source of all of these great opportunities for nutrition to the hair, blood flow, inflammation, and it helps with making that hair feel plumper too. So it's a nutritious antioxidative ingredient that helps with, dry hair as well with the moisture factor. So all of these have amazing benefits to the product. And once again, they've thought of everything when they added these into your Hmelt products. So let's introduce Hmelt. So the bold statement color trend, as all of you are stylists out there, it's super contagious right now. So whether you're stepping out of the box of traditional color and into the realm of these bright, bright shades, we've got so many opportunities for you, such as what you see here in the Hmelt slide. So you can really unleash your creative potential. There's Blue Charm, Green Harmony, Mysterious Purple, Sunny Orange, Red Energy, Playful Rose, Divine Gold, Glamour Copper Gold, and Authentic Chestnut. So we're really seeing these trends literally everywhere, from, let's say, red carpet to that girl that just served you coffee this morning. Everyone seems to be really coveting these tones, and we're just seeing a huge influx of guests, whether it's on Instagram, they see these tones, and they're coming into our salons asking for the big, bold color plunge. So not only does Hmelt come in a huge variety of color options, there's also a massive array of formulation options. So here's some of the technical abilities of it. You can create fashion tones. Now keep in mind, you need to realize that to achieve vibrant fashion tones, it's really necessary to pre-lighten the hair to a pale blonde. So we're talking levels 9 and 10. That way you see the brightness and the brilliance that they offer, and you're not just neutralizing out NRP. So the way you can also do this, you can add these Hmelt pigments. They come in a dropper bottle similar to the Hcolor. And so you can add these pigments. They're intermixable, so you can either add them to the Oway Hmelt No Stress, and you can make pastels, or you add more drops to it to intensify the tone. So your formula example would be, let's say, 40 grams measured into a bowl on a scale for your Hmelt No Stress, and then adding 20 Hmelt drops. Now, pretty much what you see in the bowl is what you're going to get, but also you have to factor in the porosity. You have to get to the levels 9, 10, pale yellow. I like to try to get the hair as light as possible, but healthy too. So obviously using the Oway bleach is a perfect opportunity to preserve and protect that hair fiber while you're lifting. It also adds the butters in and so forth that's going to keep that fabric really nice and shiny, so you can create these fashion tones in a healthier way. Now, if you want to go with, if you're going with more deep, bold tones, now typically those are going to last a bit longer, obviously, than your muted pastels for any type of fashion colors. But we have an opportunity here on the screen for you to also use it to enhance your Hcolor, Hnectar, and add more reflection. So one idea for me was to really play with the Hnectar, because there's only so many shades available to us right now on the Hnectar line, much less than the Hcolor, but it's still a beautiful range. And so if you add the Hmelt drops to your Hcolor or your Hnectar, you can make all types of different colors that you before did not have. You can intensify them. You can use them to neutralize tones. You have a green and a blue option there, which is a perfect way to increase the opportunities of both of the lines. So you have these phyto-pigments that are in the dropper form to add. So another option would be neutralizing undesirable warmth by adding the Oway Hmelt to the Hmelt No Stress or to a desired conditioner or mask. I always add these drops to something of more of a cream consistency, such as the Hcolor or the Hmelt No Stress or one of our masks. Now, and of course, the Hnectar is a great candidate also, like I mentioned. But when you add it to the hair baths or the H screen, it really dilutes it. So it's more intended to be used with something such as Hmelt No Stress or the Hcolor and Hnectar. Finally, another way we've been playing with it is to add pigment back into the hair. So we always talk about when someone wants to go from platinum to a lovely chocolate brown, filling the hair prior to that service so that you have enough of a background to really get a gorgeous, gorgeous hollow type of result at the end. So you can add this directly to hair prior to coloring as well. Now that I suggest you pour more into a bowl so that you can add that back in, or by adding it into one of your, let's say, Hnectars, a gorgeous opportunity, if you wanted to go back and repigment that hair. So it's a perfect opportunity to unleash your creativity basically, and give your clients not just fashion tones, but truly lengthening the range that you're working with Hcolor or Hnectar. So we'll break a little bit more into what it means to really do a proper 5-point Hmelt consultation. So we're taking it a little bit different. We're honing in on the empathetic strengths of your relationship with your client. You're really going to be talking here about managing expectation and giving them, doing a more creative consultation, but with realistic expectations. So we're transforming your client's color that they're seeing all over in these trends on Instagram and so forth, but how to make yourself a unique, holistic tribe member when doing your consultations. So what do I mean here? First, my suggestion would be to show your client the new Hmelt chromatic color chart. That's your shade chart. And asking them what they're really drawn to. Yes, they may have brought you in a picture of one of the Kardashians with mint green hair, but what is it that they're really drawn to? So practicing this in your consultation for fashion tones is a cool way that you can really bring out and talk more about your colors, the color's personality, and how that is reflected in your client and what they're drawn to. And at that point, really paying attention to their microfacial expressions, their body language when they're consuming that color in your swatch guide, and really talking about how that color energy resonates with them. That's what being holistic tribe members really is about, is getting involved in what they're feeling and then producing beautiful results. So it's interior, exterior, it's the whole combination in that consultation. You can really identify the perfect shade for them. And if you want to pastelize it or if you want to intensify it, And then at that point, then together you can choose the desired intensity of the color that they're drawn to with your client. And then at that point, you really want to speak honestly about what it's going to take to get them there. If they have really dark hair, you might do this in stages so that hair fiber is really intact, so that they get the shine and reflection and the longevity of the fashion tone that they're after. How many of those lightning sessions it would take to really get them there, because I'm telling you, I've seen things on Instagram that, yes, it probably took them 2 or 3 visits if they came from a level 4 to get that bright pink. So what that means to them as far as time and pricing, what the integrity of their hair is like, whether they really should consider doing a treatment prior to, because Oway has so many available rebuilding treatments and beautiful treatments that can help with your client. Perhaps they're new and haven't been working with these type of natural botanical products, and their hair integrity needs a little repair. So we have all of those, but from there you can really feel confident and excited about proceeding with their Hmelt color. So we have Blue Charm. I'm going to read to you the color profiles that are engaging in these in the color swatch chart for the Hmelt series. So this one, the primary color of our oceans and skies. Blue is deeply hypnotic and intense. Cool, calm, and collected. Blue exudes intelligence, reason, and trust. Darker hues evoke confidence and ingenuity. Lighter tones express freedom and inner peace. So if someone's drawn to this Blue Charm, figuring out how intense or pastelized you want to go with this, or if you want to add it into one of the other Hmelt colors, and how to make that happen. So this is Blue Charm. Now, if your client has Green Harmony speaking to them, this is what you would read to them. And this is on the back, once again, of the swatch chart that they're drawn to. Mother Nature's focal color, green, brings about serenity, balance, and prosperity. Intense tones convey focus and determination. Lighter tones convey clarity, simplicity, and freshness. So that's the color profile for Green Harmony. Mysterious Purple, the color of mystery and mystique. Purple stimulates creativity and intuition, leading to new elements of inspiration and self-discovery. Deeper shades suggest regal elegance and influence. Lighter tones communicate empathy and balance. That's Mysterious Purple. Now, Sunny Orange, a bold blend of orange, red hues. Sunny Orange radiates self-confidence and a sunny disposition. This cheery color is also associated with sincerity, spontaneity, optimism, and a desire to live an authentic, happy life. I'm drawn to Sunny Orange today, just so you know. Now, Red Energy. This is renowned for its warmth and vibrancy. Red radiates a fiery energy and is often the hair color of choice for decisive, dynamic personality types. Deeper tones symbolize life, vitality, and bold intuition. And the lighter hues emanate romance and elegance. So that's the color profile for someone that's drawn to Red Energy. We have Playful Rose, and this is a soft and playful rosy pink. Tones exude delicacy and youth. Deeper rose colors emit pure joy and life with an element of spontaneity and boldness. The lighter shades evoke romance and sensitivity. So Playful Rose, of course, can be joined with maybe Red Energy or any of the fun playful. You could pastelize this one as well. Now, if they're drawn to Divine Gold, this one is reminiscent of our radiant sun, and gold can be intensely bright or subtly illuminating. Vibrant, bold yellow tones express individuality and a desire to stand out. Lighter, more nuanced hues emphasize a healthy glow and soft elegance. Glamour Copper Gold, the perfect blend of orange and gold hues. Copper gold is a refined choice with a hint of originality. It communicates attention to detail, desire for discovery, and sophistication. Its energy emits vivacity and curiosity, along with femininity and grace. So this one is awesome if you want to add more bold, rich glam or copper golds to any of the series, such as Hcolor or Hnectar too. And lastly, we have Authentic Chestnut. This is the completion of our Hmelt series, and it is a refined combination of all three primary colors, so red, yellow, and blue. Authentic Chestnut is the color of the earth. It communicates confidence, stability, certainty, intellect, and self-mastery. Often underestimated, it exudes elegance and ease as well. So, someone drawn to Authentic Chestnut, this is a gorgeous opportunity that we're going to share with you, adding into some of your masks, or of course, we have one as well that we're going to share too from the Hmelt series of masks. So, those are ways that you can really give your clients these creative consultations. Also, like I said, giving them realistic expectations and really adding to your entire toolbox of colors that you work with already with the Oway line. So the benefits to using this, it's a customer-centric approach. It's very different than just someone sitting in your chair sharing with you that they want a dusty rose or some sort of beautiful fashion tone that they've seen on Instagram or Facebook or whatnot, or any social media avenues, but that you're really valuing that look for them and making them understand that there's this beautiful color psychology that goes to what they're always after or what they want to express. And so once you're honest about that process and the investment that it takes to really achieve these vibrant fashion tones, now we have an amazing phyto-pigment base in the Hmelt that you can give them these fashion vibrancy tones, vibrant tones, and give them and make them really satisfied. And it's a very different experience, and that's what we're all after here as Holistic Tribe members, of course. So I know a lot of you in the forum have been asking what the longevity of these fashion colors are, because that is something that to be concerned about when you're investing in some of these fashion colors that we've seen out there. And when you're working with something that's got such high integrity, you're working with these great plant-based phytopigments and such, you can really talk to them more sincerely about what to expect. So we're going to talk about the art and science of really long-lasting hair color. So, as professionals, we should always talk to our clients in the consultation, especially while they're processing, as well as before. So, before, during, and after, I always talk about this using proper pH balance products. So, at the back bar, you probably would use the H Balance shampoo and mask in your salon as professionals after this service so that you bring the pH back down and seal that cuticle around your new color. You're going to want to maintain that hair integrity as much as possible. So before you get started, my suggestion is always to test that hair porosity. And if it needs rebalancing, do it then. We have opportunities on the back bar for the H Restore Protein Spray, which color loves to lock onto and builds those chains back in the hair where we may have porosity issues already. And then really talking to them about if they want to make this colorful change, what they're going to do at home, because we don't always talk about we tell them they need to go home with this or that, but going further in your consultation and explaining a couple of other variables is going to be very important. And then we can also talk to them when we're telling them about their at-home recommendations and consider adding in some of the Oway Hmelt masks or color depositing conditioners. So I always suggest my client after we've done such a beautiful color service to try avoid washing their hair so often and so frequently if they can get away from that at all. Maybe shampooing every other day instead. Then I also mentioned after the color service, giving that hair fabric about, 24, 48 hours before washing again, or cleansing that hair. Obviously, I always mention avoiding the pool or the sun or the ocean that has all those stressors and want to take out all of the positive color that we just put in. So if at all possible, avoid those. But then always recommend using products with UV protectants, using them with the proper pH so that the hair cuticle is sealed down. And especially ones from Oway that have that lipid concentration that's helping to bind the cuticle and cortex back together around your color without SLS and sodium chloride and all of those. I mean, we have the Oway Sun Protecting Elixir. We've got the Color Protection Veil. These all can go home with them. We definitely did quite a bit of testing here in the studio with the thermal stress test. And you can see our on the right side of the screen what the results were from just using the thermal stress protector in our regimen and how the fade went there. So it was intense testing. So it was very cool to see that it does work when you offer these products that have the best integrity and the best ingredients possible to really do their job. So if they are going to use heat styling, using the proper protectants that I mentioned will help to avoid that fade and damage. But if they can avoid excessive heat styling, or maybe wait till their hair is more 90% dry before hitting it with a hot blow dryer. You can also mention to lower the heat on the blow dryer as well. So, heat is really swelling that cuticle overly, and all that color that you just worked so hard to get in there is going to drop right out. So I always ask them to avoid excessive touching because we have all those oils on our hands, brushing and really handling the hair. And then we're going to share with you the best benefit that we have to offer them, which is purchasing the Oway Hmelt masks to intensify and keep that color around longer. So, introducing the Hmelt masks for you. This is like a color revival. So, anyone that's worked with color masks before, this is something completely new and unique. These are the luxurious collections. There's 6 of these offered to you, ultra low in the pH, so they are going to help seal the color around them. I'm finding, honestly, that these are very intense and awesome, and you can dilute them if needed, but they come in the opportunities of mysterious purple, authentic chestnut, sunny orange, red energy, divine gold, glamour copper gold. So any of your redheads that are leaving, whether they use the Hmelt for the red or just on their own for Hcolor, Hnectar, send them home with red energy to preserve it and protect that color and keep it revitalized. Anyone with a chocolate chestnut should be leaving your salon with the authentic chestnut. Divine Gold is great for any of your dark haired clients because it's going to add in that, with the gold molecule being in there and that phyto-pigment, you are going to get that shine impeccably. I mean, the hair fabric is going to be so shiny and glossy. And then, of course, any of your coppers, you can go with the Glamour Copper Gold, Sunny Orange for anybody that really wants that great preservation of their gold orange tones. These are awesome. Anybody that uses the 0.77 series, I'd be sending them home with the mysterious purple. I guess I could go back and also reiterate the fact that all of Oway really works with PPD-free formulas whenever possible, which these are, paraben-free, phthalate-free, petroleum-free, these are gluten-free, peg-free, cruelty-free, and synthetic fragrance-free. So that is huge in our market today because there's so much greenwashing, and these are gorgeous and they are free from all of the nasties and the toxics. So let's talk about usage. We've got you can create custom conditioners with the Hmelt masks because they're intermixable. They can also be intensified by adding drops of the Hmelt Pure Pigments, which you would figure out sending them home with. You could customize those for each of your clients. These are also fantastic ways to create little toners at the bowl. So you could pastelize the purple and really help to take out gold. I suggest processing them for 5 to 10 minutes. If you want very, very bright results, which we've been using here on many of our models to increase and keep that violet around, we've been leaving that on for 20 minutes. And all of the models that we've been using have stayed very vibrant, very intense. So there's a way to customize them, and definitely a great retail opportunity for these fashion tones that we want to see the longevity out of. So your clients will love these. They've been asking for them. We're providing them. Oway has made them with the green formulas for you. So these are hot. I would get them for every client because you will sell out of every single one of them for all of your looks and your clientele. So we talked about multiple ways you can protect your hair, the color treatments that you've been doing. We've got all of the rebuilding treatments from Oway. We've talked, there's a combination of tips that help you extend the life of your vivid hair color from the Hmelt. But now we have opportunities to achieve an extensive range of colors that are helping with strength and healthier hair all the way around. So I think Oway comes to our side all the time as Holistic Hair Tribe members, offering us all kinds of opportunities to have a natural, beautiful color result for all of our clients. So I want to thank you guys for attending. I'm going to answer some questions, but I do have some thoughts here. I'd like to do some giveaways. So before I close and start doing some of the giveaways, I do want to remind you that we do have all of the unicorn color packages that you can get the Hmelt masks as well as the Hmelt drops to start having some fun.
Wasn't that super exciting, guys? Now it's time to actually reward you for staying on with us the whole time. And what we're going to be doing is a giveaway of these posters that you see right here. What better way to launch Hmelt in your salon by getting a couple free posters? And those packages you were speaking about, they have such great discounts baked into them. So at least 30% off of everything. So it's the best way to get started with Hmelt and the Hmelt mask in your salon at a amazing discount. So Rebecca has a few trivia questions she's going to ask you in order for us to see who's going to win these posters. So I hope you were paying super good attention during her presentation. And don't worry, if you get it wrong, we still might give you a poster anyway, just for trying. Rebecca?
So how many Hmelt bottles or color shades are available? Hmelt color shades, how many? Oh, we've already got some winners. Whoa, people are paying attention. All right, so Christina Platzek, you have won the first poster. So we've got you written down. Get that out to you. We've got some others. Oh, looks like I think May Samara got another one. And then we've got Marie Castro. So we've got some winners there. So next, how many Hmelt masks are there available to you? Whoa, okay. First one there, Paula Elizardo. How are you? And then we've also got Nicole Gallant and Amy Miller. So those are the three that won the posters for the amount of Hmelt masks. There are 6. What type of pigments are used in the Hmelt and Hmelt masks? Oh, Tyler Phoenix. Phyto-pigments. Perfect answer. Thank you. All right, let's see who else we can get on here. So, what was the color that I am attracted to today? Boom. Okay, we've got Carla Marabellos. Yay! You got it. Sunny orange. Oh, and Lee Lage as well.
By the way, there's many right answers, but we are awarding posters to the first 2 to get it right. But don't worry, we have many questions coming up. So Rebecca, hit us with another.
Okay. What is the new process that you can use in your consultation that's different from every other stylist out there? What tool can you now use in your consultation? Yes, Stephanie Davis. The 5 alchemic characteristics for each color chosen. Very nice.
Very good. And then I think we are going to have 2 more questions here, and then we are just going to make this an open Q&A. Okay. So the question that we have is, where do all of our beautiful biodynamic botanicals come from? Haha, that was way too easy. You guys nailed that. Congratulations, Belinda Darling and Kara Robertson. They got very specific with Bologna, Italy, and you know what? I'm also gonna give Anne Hannah poster because she called it by its insider name, which is Ortofficina. So congratulations, you three. And then goodness, you guys are so engaged. I just want to keep asking questions all day.
So, what is the creative name for the packages that you can purchase for the Hmelt? Yay! Bailey got it with unicorn packages.
And Carrie McMaster. Congratulations, you two. Yes, unicorn hair for everyone. So we're going to have one more question here.
What are the top 3 products that you can add the Hmelt into? It's going to take a second because there's 3 I'm looking for. Kara Robertson hit it with Hmelt No Stress, Hcolor, and Hnectar. And Stacy Whitmire.
All right, everyone. That will conclude our lovely, lovely giveaway this evening. Actually, Rebecca, do we want to give away, like, what do you guys want to win? Why don't you only one item though, and we'll give it to you, but we're gonna test you with a question. Ha ha ha! Not the whole package, one product. Oh, all right, good one. So we're gonna give away also one Hmelt No Stress. So Rebecca, we want to hit us with our final question to see who's gonna win the free Hmelt No Stress to pastelize these colors. Clearly, my calling was in game show hosting.
Okay, this was a question that this is something I didn't cover, but I think as all Oway tribe members, you should know. If I have a client in my chair and I'm about to do a beautiful, vibrant color on them, let's say the violet, okay? What would I use to protect their ears and their hairline, as well as my hands? Yay! Boom! Dang! Andy Catone! Yay!
Congratulations to all the winners. Rebecca is also going to answer an open Q&A now. So thank you everyone for joining us. The giveaway portion is over, but your questions can keep going.
Okay, Andy, sure, you get a poster. You just have to type to me which one you prefer out of the 2 that you see there. Thank you, everyone. I see a lot of thank yous going on, and I think this is so exciting because, honestly, we have been waiting for something like this, and we have been just humbled by the fact that Oway listens, and they really are an amazing group of people to work with, from scientists to marketing people to just the whole gamut of people over there. So I extend a thank you to them as well for giving us what we've been looking for with these Hmelt pigments. And by doing it as holistic and natural as possible, I think that they deserve a big round of applause. And I'm super excited that we're their North American distributor. Thank you, all of you. Let's see. I don't have a lot of questions. I guess you guys kind of got it. We're getting a lot of thank yous and all of those. I think that this mint green is stunning. I guess until I see some more questions, I'll share a little personal experience as well as some of the things that I covered here in the topics. The masks are serious. They are nice and bright and super effective. Over the weekend, we used the violet on one of our blondes just to see. And, we only left it on for a second at the shampoo bowl just to kind of see if it could take off a little bit of that gold. And it really took the edge off there. I obviously would sit and watch it. It's not really strong enough, I wouldn't think, to be such a toner, but it definitely worked to the ability I was looking for it to. I think one way to really play with it is kind of to take your time. And, we have those times, right? I know we're in fourth quarter and Christmas time is coming and all of the holidays are approaching and the new year starting, and we're super busy as stylists. And, I thank you for attending today because I know you have clients booked, but we wanted to launch this as soon as it hit here because everybody around the globe's really been having some fun online with them. And we're just waiting for them to arrive and offer them to you fast. So thank you for that. But I do recommend that you get some of those white hair swatches from Pivot Point or collect some of your clients' hair and just play. You can play with it. The Hmelt is a great factor to add it into to tone hair, to get pastel colors. And then you can get super bright too. It's in just the amount of drops you're adding. So I would play with the percentages and the recipes that we shared with you. But honestly, you want to have some fun. It's a creative tool. Yes, it's a technical professional tool, but it's a creative addition to your toolbox too. So really have some fun. Let's see if there's some questions now. Someone asked, Kathy Hammond asks, is this like a direct dye? Well, it is because you're not using it as an oxidative. I don't feel like it's as staining as a direct dye because of the phyto-pigments that are definitely able to help you get those plant-based colors inside. But it is not oxidative. So I guess the way you would consider it would be what we know to be more of a direct. And Tara asked, I think I just covered that, but I'll repeat. Natural blondes, can we use the purple mask to tone at home? I would certainly try that first. That's what we've been using it on, and I found it's favorable for what you're looking for. But that's absolutely something in a consultation you want to talk to them about. How long to leave it on, because if they leave it on longer, it's going to affect the hair more with the violet tones. But when you see it come out of the tube, it's definitely like a softer violet. And so, like I said, I used it over the weekend on a model, and it was a nice way to take that little bit of gold edge off. And so, definitely. Any way to create purple silver? You can really dilute down the purple. It's going to be similar to what people are calling silvers, because honestly, there's not really a silver out there that isn't a violet-based pastel. So if that's what they're looking for, yes. And I'll tell you, the essential oil blend of the fragrance is so beautiful for the masks. This makes you guys all serious colorists, almost like color doctors, because you have drops that you can intensify, you can minimize, you can add it. It's not just a recipe per se. It's really a creative tool. Yeah, and like Andy says here, silver is metallic, and we don't use metallics in this, but the silvers that I've used from other brands before have definitely had a light violet attribute to them. So if you leave them on longer, they certainly have that more pastel lilac to them. Tyler asked, will home care masks stain clients' hands? I have not had that happen. So I would say no. I suppose if they had dry, cracked hands, maybe some of the brighter, like red, could, but they're diluted by the actual benefits and the ingredients in the formulation for the conditioners, that they are great for refreshers, but they're not as pigmented necessarily as some of the old cosmetic ones were. So they use the phyto-pigments to do so, and they just are very soft. But I'm telling you, we've been doing a test on a few models where we've broken the head into 4 quadrants. And honestly, I'm hardly getting any fade from the, say, like I did a violet about a month or so ago. And I haven't really seen any fade. And we've been using the Hmelt mask on this other side of her head. And the two sides are very, very, there's such a small difference in the fade, and the longevity of both are just great. But certainly for those clients that have more of a porosity issue with their hair already from lightening, let's say, or, just from wear and tear, um, those are people that you would definitely want having the masks if they're looking to keep it at home. Now, a lot of these fashion colors, people are really changing up, and they all want to, I've got girls that want to go from red to violet to blue to green and back and forth and all of this. So, this is a great way to do so as well, because they typically like a lot of change. Do I consider the Hmelt mask good for maintaining pastels and vivids? Yes. Some of them you would want to maybe have them dilute with another mask of your choice, let's say color protection. But you would want to also recommend that anybody wants to keep that longevity or brightness to the hair. So once they use, let's say, color protection hair bath, to make sure you rinse that out, towel dry that hair a little bit, so getting some of that moisture out, because these conditioners will work better on hair that is not so dripping wet. So there's that too. But yes, that's their intention, is to keep the results, whether it's pastel and you want to dilute it with another conditioner, or how long they leave it on for is also a trick there. There is a starter kit. It's called the Unicorn Package. And there's lots of amazing opportunities there, or you can buy them separately as well. Natural hair, Jennifer's asking, how well does this work on natural hair? I'm assuming that you have not pre-lifted or pre-lightened. It's going to depend. Like if you're adding it into an Hcolor or an Hnectar formula, then absolutely you can use it on natural hair. It's just going to intensify the color pigment in that tone. And if you're looking for something that's more pastel, or something that's, let's say, I guess really the pastels, you'd want to pre-lighten that hair. You're going to need to, so that you can see the results. But otherwise, yes, you can put it over natural hair, and it's just, especially in your color formulas, it's just going to intensify what you're looking for. Like, let's say bright red or violet that lasts. Purple. So cold water when shampooing, I mean, tepid, yes. I don't know. Some people can't really do cold water, obviously, in their shower, especially now that we're hitting the winter months. But, not scalding. Some of our clients like to take scalding hot showers, and all that's doing is swelling and opening that hair fiber up for that color to slip out of. So, this is definitely an opportunity for you to talk to them about what type of temperature they're working with in their shower, and so that you can help them hold on to their vibrant fashion tones. Why would you choose Hmelt over a booster in the Hnectar or Hcolor? I think that, to be honest with you, from playing with them, I think they're adding more vibrancy. But it's just a different option. These are phyto-pigments versus a oxidative kind of corrector. So they're both nice additions, but I think these are fun because now you can make pastels with them too. And that sort of thing. Now, we tried it with the 0.0, and I thought it was a little light for me, because 0.0 really is for adding additional levels of lift to your 90 series from Hcolor. So I don't necessarily recommend that, but once again, that's an outside of the box type of application or formulation method. And we certainly tried it. We tried it with H screen. We tried it with everything, so that you could, because I knew all these questions would come. And what we found was it was best to be added into any of the colors or on its own with Hmelt, no stress. You could use the boosters too, Tyler. I know it sounds to me like you're asking, can I also add the boosters and add these? Yes, there's no reason you couldn't do that too. Okay, it says, what lightener do you recommend works before? I would definitely go with H bleach because it keeps that hair fiber intact, and the butters and all of those are helping with the antioxidation and holding on to color better, and it makes the hair have a nicer fabric and so forth. And they also really hold on to moisture, and moisture is a great thing for anybody that's having some hydration issues in their hair fiber. Um, so butters and all of those really are great to completely add back in any moisture loss. So I think the H bleach is the way to go here. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you can't use boosters in the H nectar, Tyler. I think that's what you're saying. Well, no, you definitely, this is now an opportunity to intensify the H nectar series of color for you too. I know you need to get the mineral buildup out of the hair before you start. Minerals tend to be, it depends on the minerals. Now, these minerals that are in the nutrition of the phyto-pigments and the proteins and the plant's essences from Oway are different. You know, once you're talking about minerals and irons that are in the water that can have factors in it, yeah, you might want to do a clarify, or at least do an H Tech cleansing or clarifying shampoo before, and then really towel dry that hair real well, or at least blow some of that moisture out. But yeah. Would the green be a good choice to calm overly ginger tones? I can't see what level you're talking about. Hold on, let me see. In a level 6, yeah, I would typically only add a little bit though. You want to play with the drops because the green and the blue are going to be much darker elements than obviously the gold or the gold and copper. So at a level 6, yes, adding, let's say, a 4 drops to a 40-gram application or less probably. So I would start out with less before going too heavy, especially because I don't know the porosity of the client's hair that you're working on. Tina's asking, if mixing with H milk, do you apply to slightly damp hair? When mixed in H color, do you put it on dry hair? That is how I've been working with it, and I felt that that was a fantastic method because I got the results I was after. So I do like to mix the H milk. Now, I did do a couple applications with the H milk on dry hair too, and that was a really nice pastel toner. It just changes maybe the amount of drops I've added in, but typically if you're going over pale lightened hair, then you're gonna, whatever's in the bowl is really what you should get. What about people with allergies because of the walnut? It's really like an oil. But honestly, when you're dealing with anyone with allergies, I suggest a patch test. So maybe putting a small dot behind their ear in the center of the elbow crevice on their arm, and then putting a little band-aid over it and asking them to let me know in 72 hours, maybe take a picture of their skin after, so that I'm certain that it's a fit for them, so that you don't run into any issues. I always deal with that type of manner when I'm working with anyone with any type of allergies that they know of. It says on the website to use gloves. Yes, I use gloves when I do color applications, but I was talking about the H screen at the back bar before I'm rinsing, because we don't always wear gloves to rinse or shampoo the hair. So, and then I also use the H screen around the hairline and the ears to keep any vibrancy off of the skin, so that it has a really soft look to it as well, even if it's vibrant. Okay, I have a great answer here for you. Stacy, who's asking for her own hair. She likes the purple look with a frosty silver, kind of like the 11.17. Okay, so this is one thing I did want to mention in the webinar, and I'm glad you brought this up. When you are filling hair that you're going, let's say, from a platinum to a chocolate, we typically will pre-pigmentize that hair back with some of the warmth before overlaying our, let's say, chestnut brown color. So when we do that, we're it's in our nature as stylists and colorists to do that. However, when we're working with cooler fashion tones, say the purples or the blues or something of that nature, my suggestion is to pre-fill that hair, which we can do now with these Hmelt colors. However, I like to do my underlying cool color so that it looks more expensive and not hollow either. So if I'm going, let's say, over really, really pre-lightened hair, I may add in the 11.17 under that, let that process, and then over it, maybe paint in some of the Hmelt with Hmelt No Stress, or even added into, let's say, my 0.77 series from Hcolor. So I no matter what I'm working with, if I'm going back and I'm got pre-lightened hair, and I'm either going with a fashion shade that's warm or going back to a chocolate brown or any of that, I pre-pigment those hair candidates with a warm background, a level lighter than what I'm going for or trying to achieve. And I do the same thing when I'm working with these cooler tones as well. The longest I've left these on for was 30 to 35 minutes, and that was just because I like to play and really push these as far as I can. Now, when I'm adding it into the colors, it just depends on the developer you're using for that client, whether you're working with mids and ends or as a H tone process, or if I'm doing a retouch or what I'm working with. But so that's when I follow the timing for my color. And if I'm working with just like the Hmelt No Stress, adding pastels, I've left it on 35 plus minutes. Just depends on what else I'm doing. Bye, Andrea. Thanks for joining us. Bye, Christina. I appreciate your time. Okay, Tyler's got another good question. H drops recommended for Hmelt. I You could. I just these are more directly phyto-pigments. They're kind of going into that hair. So if you do put them under the dryer, yes. But I find that with the fashion colors, I like to leave them on a full processing time. So I'm sure that that's an option that you can do. But for me, if it's somebody, it's once again, it depends on what my end result is. If I want how bright I want it or whatnot, if whether or not I add the hypercolor drops in or not. Thank you, Christina Steele, for joining us. Stacey Owens, well, send me your resume and let's get this started. We've got a lot of great education opportunities coming up. We've got some great educators that you'd love to meet up with and join our team. So get in touch with me and have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you, Ada Santos. We'll see you on further webinars. We've got so much education coming down. 2018 is going to be packed. So expect so much more from us because that's what we're here for, is to help pioneer you through and to create a successful salon experience for you. Hi, Tina Hoffman. Long time no see. It looks on the website. I can certainly send you the link to everything. They should be on both our website as well as our e-commerce page. So if you want to order anything online, you can certainly do that. And we can honestly send you the link if you're not finding it too. So let us know. So Kara Robertson, you're asking about the posters. Just let your account manager know. Our number for ordering is on your screen now, as well as the shop, simplyorganicbeauty.com. Tina Hoffman, you can check that out as well on that Shopify link there. And you can get posters and all that good stuff. So we've got beautiful posters, and honestly, they just look high end to me. Well, it looks like everybody's pretty much wrapping up. Oh, good question, Paul. It says, how many applications on average per Hmelt? I did the math after using mine. I would say the average would be about 50 uses. Now, that's obviously an average because it depends on how much you're going to use for each client. You can go anywhere from a few drops to intensifying it with more. So I found that the average for me was about 50. Between 25 and 50 is really where you're going to go with it. But there are going to be specific colors that your clients are really drawn to, and you may get less or more out of each bottle. So depending on the unicorn flavor of your client's choice, is really going to give you a more specific. But from my math, from what I've used, I noticed it was between 25 and 50 applications per bottle. So there's quite a bit of bang for your money there. Stacy, if you want to just call that number on the screen, they'll help you out a little bit further. So just mention that you were on the webinar today and that you want your poster, and they'll take care of you. So it looks like everybody is wrapping it up. If you do have any other questions, feel free to call us, email us, find us on social media, hashtag all of us as you do your Hmelts. We'd love to see your results and all the success that goes with that. So we're excited to have you all in our tribe, and we thank you so very much for your time. Let us know what we can do for you to help additionally, or what kind of education you need. We're here to help. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.